Hello and welcome back to Double M Radio. We're doing the Xbox developer stream. I'm gonna hit the start button in just a second, Wyatt. So keep yourself pinned until then. We're doing a reaction stream to the developer direct, like we did last year. I think we're both very excited for this. So let's get started.
I mean, how many? What's the internal meme at this point? There's so much writing on every single direct, and then they just end up not showing that much.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do
every time.
Wyatt, count us down, and then we'll hit the button at the same time as we're started. We're a few minutes behind just to make sure we're caught up.
Okay.
But neither of us have seen anything. So.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
We're good to go. I'm excited to see what they have in store for us.
Yep.
Stream is not incredibly loud.
What's the thing you want to see most? What do you feeling?
I think for me, I'm looking forward to Avowed because they've said they're going to show Avowed.
Mm-hmm.
They've also said they're going to show Indiana Jones, so I'm excited to see.
That would be pretty sweet. Maybe some actual Hellblade 2 gameplay, but like for real this time.
I was okay with what we got last time. I think the last trailer had some gameplay.
I think if they had shown that several years ago, it would have been okay. I think it's not
what
enough
I really want.
for
I want
how long
5 minutes of Hellblade gameplay, and just don't cut it. That's what I want.
Yeah, I think what they showed would have been fine several years ago. I think it's really been such a lack of information and like gameplay for how long they've been showing it off.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm hoping this is going to prove some of the stuff that they've been showing. I don't know if we're going to get Hellblade. Have they confirmed that? I did not look at what the docket was before.
I would not be surprised if there was more Hellblade whatever.
Okay, well, I guess there is Hellblade. They just put it on
screen.
Screen.
Well, there. Oh, okay. Well, yep, there you go.
Perfect. That's what I want.
Oxide? What's that?
So I believe Oxide is doing Aura History something, which is a strategy game that I'm actually very excited for.
Okay.
Kind of like a Civilization-like thing.
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment. I'm so proud to share with you our upcoming fantasy action RPG, Avowed.
I'm excited to see this.
I am too.
I think they've said a lot of big things about Avowed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're to the point where I want to see the proving of it.
Mm-hmm.
At Obsidian, we love creating worlds with deep themes, dynamic gameplay, and thoughtful reactivity. And Avowed is no different.
I know Outer Worlds got more mixed.
They had a reveal trailer. Oh yes, that's true.
So I don't think like negative reception, but like more mixed than I would have expected.
I still really like it. I need to go back and play it again, but my opinions of it are still quite positive.
Yeah, I think a lot of people went in expecting Fallout in space, and that disappointed them because it's not as long as Fallout and not as meaty as most Fallout games. But I went in expecting something a little bit smaller scale and was pretty happy.
Yeah. No, I'm in a similar boat there.
To talk more about Avowed's combat is Gabriel Paramo, gameplay director.
Here at Obsidian, our team's overarching goal is to empower you with choice. So we developed a flexible combat system that allows you to quickly swap from spellcasting and sharpshooting to melee combat. We want to give you the freedom to mix and match your loadout to fit the way you want to play.
Okay, I like blocking with a wand. That's cool.
For all battles,
it's fun.
A variety of weapons, attacks, and
sword and gun is also
classic combo.
Pretty sweet.
It's not just hacking and slashing. You're making real-time decisions about when to use your abilities, powerful melee attacks, blocks, parries, and special attacks.
That looked pretty cool.
It looked very cool. I want to see what that looks like in actual combat and not just on a thing standing there.
Yeah.
You can stop enemies in their tracks, giving you the opportunity to focus on weaker or
I like crowd control spells looking like they're a thing.
It's important to pay
all of the VFX for them have looked really neat so far.
Some units are extremely defensive, Some are brutishly difficult. And others you must make sure you prioritize, or their healing capabilities will put you in a tough spot.
Yeah,
To
that
help
reminds
with
me
the
of
different
Dragon's
encounters
Dogma.
you will face,
The like
there are
healing
customizable
focus.
loadouts that can be quickly switched during combat. That means you can play.
Honestly,
however you
shield
want.
gun sounds kind of
Equip a sword
fun.
and shield,
Like a
charge
shield
into
gun build?
Yeah,
dual-wield pistols and
That's
control
kinda
your encounter
neat.
mid-range. Or even dual-wield wands to feel like
Oh,
a gunslinger
did we see an
in
AI buddy there? A
I
companion?
think so.
Use your
I think we just
enchanted
saw a
wand to
companion,
freeze
Wyatt.
enemies, and
Hell
use your
yeah.
offhand weapons power attack to shatter them.
Very cool.
We've worked hard to keep you constantly engaged as battles unfold by creating a balance between pressure and manageability during combat.
Players will have ample choices for how to build and progress their envoy in the world of the living lands as they get to know the game and the story and explore the many diverse regions. Some quests in Avowed will have you make difficult decisions with profound consequences. Like
It's some
this
pretty
side
like
quest you may
densely
encounter in Shatterstar. The third region
this
you'll
looks
explore
good.
on your
detailed
journey.
area. This is neat.
As you're exploring, you
I
come
believe they
across the
said this is
bodies of these
not
fallen soldiers. And as you
true
explore the
open
remains of
world
the
as
battle, it's up
like
to you to
Skyrim is.
determine
It's more
who,
of
if
like a
anyone, is at fault.
outer world style thing where it's large open world sections.
That's fine. That's
It
fine.
could have changed because that info is from like 2 years ago, so that definitely could have changed. But if they're doing that, I'm happy to see them be this detailed.
Mhm. That's the trade-off you get there.
Yeah,
Take my badge. Take everyone's. Our families deserve to know we fought and died for them.
Making the right choice isn't always what it seems. We embrace moral nuance and gray areas, trusting players to make tough decisions in complicated situations.
My squad and I rested in the cave by the water last night, and as we were sleeping, we were ambushed by those miserable Zorips. I was so surprised.
Not the voice I was expecting out of a creature like that. I was expecting maybe some sort of like effect on their voice or something.
But I have to know if anyone else made it out. Of course he did. Sergeant Asui never has a thought he won't.
yeah. I mean, this is in the Pillars world,
So
which
what
is
do you
some
tell
really
you?
interesting
That captain
like
of the week
fantasy
was sick,
races.
that I
So
was paranoid. That I was a dumb baby.
I don't think they've done
Heard it
these
all
filters
often
on any of the
and
games
loud.
on voices outside of like
If you found Sergeant
magical
Asui,
beings.
I don't think it's like
here with you.
inherently a bad
What
thing.
happened?
It's just like
At the end
not
of
what
the
I was
day,
expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
When you confront Private Naoki, if you believe the story he's told you, you can hand over the badges and let him go back home.
You're right. Real battle isn't something you can prepare for, is it? It's not my fault. No, they should have never have camped in the cave. I'll take the badges. I'm going back to Third Born.
But if you confront him, if you believe that he fled the site of the battle as an act of cowardice, then he might challenge you to a fight to reclaim his honor. Either way, when you return to town, you'll see the consequences of your actions and the choices you made during this quest. Creating an immersive experience like Avowed is anchored in the world we build. Art director Matt Hansen and the team have worked to create a unique, colorful, and dynamic visual style.
From the outset,
Colorful.
we knew that we
I like
wanted
that.
Avowed
Yeah.
setting to feel rich, weird, and wonderful.
Is that an
We
Obsidian
found
arcade
inspiration
game
in a
behind him?
wide
What is
swath
that?
of real-world
I think
cultures,
it was either an
helping
arcade
us
game or a
create
coffee
unique
machine. I'm not sure
RPG
which.
experiences. By contrasting the vibrant with
Honestly,
the dull,
coffee machine right next to your other
public
arcade
spaces
machines,
specifically
it's a power
wise,
move.
We can better
Yep.
deliver complex emotional experiences for our players.
That looks really good. I like the
The
mushroom
living lands
forest.
is a continent
Yeah.
of untamed valleys with widely varied biomes, from luxuriant forests to volcanic
super
wastes.
cool.
And each of those regions itself is a conflux of storied landscapes. All of the regions have a lot of special things associated with them.
Yeah, so
but
I think
have a
these
deep
regions are the
place
thing
in
I was
my
talking
heart for
about, it being
Shatterstar.
separated areas.
As you're wandering the
Again,
woods
It
of
seems like
that-
it is.
you might notice
Again,
off in the
totally
distance
fine.
a vibrant jewel of color.
Ooh, love a
By
nice desert
transitioning
oasis.
from destitute,
Oh, yeah.
muted tones of a wasteland of sand and marching in towards a beautiful oasis, there's the opportunity there for life, for adventure, and even a little danger.
The cool
We
desert
hope you've
environments aren't
enjoyed
something
this
we
look at
get
Avowed.
often in
We're
first-person
thrilled to share more
RPGs.
about the game in the coming months.
No,
and we
not
can't
really. I
wait
think
for you
A
to
lot of
there's a
third-person
fear of
games
like,
are good, but-
when Avowed
I think
launches
there's a
this
fear of
fall.
like we can't make deserts look interesting enough, especially in first person when you see those like textures right up close.
Yeah, I mean, this looks good so far, so I'm glad they're going
Yeah.
for it. I'm worried. I think the guns look like they don't have very much impact, but... that's a
Fortunately, you're not
thing.
stuck with them. Ooh,
Yeah.
Love that.
Very,
What is
very
that?
cool. Fall, so we're gonna wait a while.
Yeah, that's
Okay
okay.
with
Take the time you need. You've showed us plenty.
Yeah, if that sold me, I'm sure. I don't think that game's gonna get a 10 out of 10 when it comes out, but I'm excited to play it.
No, probably not.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Wyatt, are we going to be angry? People were mad at our last Hellblade thing too.
People as in us? Like in the cast, you mean?
Oh no, we got a comment that was
Hi, I'm
talking
Matt
about how
Matthews,
we were
studio
trashing
head at
Hellblade.
Ninja
So
Theory in Cambridge, UK. We're now in the final months of
I
development.
mean, how many
of Senua's
times do we
saga
preface we're
Hellblade.
excited for this
The
game?
team
How many
is
times have we
working
prefaced that,
hard
oh
though?
yeah, we're both gonna play this and we're gonna be very
Want it.
excited.
Senua's
I'm
unique
angry
art
because I
to
want it and I want to know
where we
more.
Once again combine high fidelity and immersive presentation.
Okay, this looks
with
like
a
actual
shorter,
gameplay.
narrative-led experience that focuses on the things that
We'll
we
see.
really care about, and that we hope you care about too.
Senua is back with a new quest. She wants to stop the Vikings who raided her village right at their source, in Iceland. But not just her quest has changed. Senua herself has grown since the first Hellblade. She's made peace with her past and is no longer in such fear of her visions and voices. While the Furies are still her constant companions, she encounters new people along the way, some of which will value her unique perspective, and others who will
Different
reject it.
characters in a Hellblade
Little by
story is
little.
going to be interesting.
Yeah.
The settlement became my tribe. In the game, Senua arrives in 10th century Iceland on the trail of the Vikings who have been enslaving her people. In the story, we're trying to be as faithful to history as we can up to a point, establishing a solid framework and then building more surreal elements on top. Senua will face up to giants who have plunged the land into chaos, and which in turn has seen the rise of the Droiga, a violent threat that has swept through the settlements that she'll discover. Senua will make new enemies and also new allies who will come to see her unique perspective as a beacon of hope. And she'll discover, along with us, how this viewpoint can have its advantages.
I'm so curious what that means from the first game. Like,
They're saying so many things and yet being so vague at the same time.
so I'm okay with the vagueness because obviously I want to play it and find out
Yeah,
by
yeah,
playing it.
yeah.
But
Around her. To bring Senua's perspective of the world to life in a truthful way, we have once again worked closely with Professor Paul Fletcher at the University of Cambridge, as well as people with lived experience of psychosis.
What does that mean? It's terrifying.
God, those voices
Players
still
find
make
themselves
me
traversing beautiful and
shiver
hostile
every time.
environments,
Yeah.
seeking answers from patterns and signs
So well
that
done.
Senua sees in her own unique way, and battling through encounters with enemies that will push Senua to her limits.
On Saga, we've taken everything to the next level. With a new motion capture space, a bigger stage team, a stunt crew, and a new cast.
We spent a lot of time planning the motion capture shoots, thinking of what events would be good to bring into this fight. Like, how can we make this fight feel different from the previous fight? We have all new combat for the sequel.
okay.
One of our
Okay.
key goals
All new-
was the ability to actually tell a story throughout it. It does feel very different from the first game, but it's very brutal and you're very invested in it.
Okay.
Senua isn't a superhero. She's fighting for survival, and we want the player to feel her struggle in every step of her journey. We want the player to always feel like they just scraped through, just survived it.
Okay, so I can tell with the camera now
Ooh.
that that is
No
real
Senua
gameplay.
better than
I'm just
anyone
so
I've ever
curious how
met.
this is actually gonna
Her
play.
instincts are amazing,
'Cause
and
it looks like they're doing more of
doesn't
the
need much help from me.
animations
On
depending on
stage, our
like
main
positioning
focus
of
is
you and the enemy
storytelling.
and like the
So I
story and
get to
whatnot.
watch the actors and see all the beautiful
Which
expressions
historically
on their
getting that right in
faces.
games is very hard.
And then I have to wait a little while.
Right.
And I wonder
have
if
to
that's
see
part of
that
why this
all
has taken so
again,
long to
in
come out.
game, in costume, on location, everything.
One
It's
can only
a
imagine.
Great experience, a great process.
Every discipline in the studio is unified in achieving a deep level of immersion to help suspend your disbelief and pull you into Senua's story. We were lucky enough to do a few reference gathering trips in Iceland. You have to be there. The sense of scale, everything is incredible. And you see a scene or you see a small section of the game and you're like, yeah, that works, that's amazing.
Senua experiences reality differently, and a part of this manifests in the voices he hears. These voices come to life through binaural audio, which provides a good representation of this type of auditory hallucinations. As we focus in immersion, binaural audio is perfect for this because through headphones, you surround yourself in a three-dimensional space. In the first game, we only applied to the voices that Senua listens in her head. In this game, through spatial audio technology and some extra little things within the game, there is music that is binaural. Every single sound has the potential to be binaural, so everything is spatialized around you, and it's a very beautiful experience.
I think it's definitely going to be a contender for best sound design of whatever year it comes out.
Oh, well, I mean, presentation, direction, you know.
Fast and deep is not only about quality, it's about personality. So when you listen to Hellblade, you know it's Hellblade. On the music, we are working with Heilung, which for me is a personal privilege because I really admire them. We feel.
Oh, that's right. They performed at the Game Awards.
I
That
recognize
was
that Game Award performance footage.
that was awesome.
We are also working with a heavy metal singer, throat singers, and our very own Furies. They sing so beautiful, and we add that binaural touch of music. So this all creates a very immersive and a very special and unique experience.
What a wild recording session that must have been.
Yeah.
they must have gotten so dizzy.
Game-changing tech. And that's our aim in Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, is to not only see where Senua goes next, but to deliver something really meaningful for our players.
My hope is that they will really connect to Senua as a character, and even if they can't really relate to what she's going through, maybe they know someone that relates to that character and they can then understand that person better.
Well, I don't want to sound cheesy, but in a way I'm Senua, right? She exists and doesn't. It exists through all of our work, through every ninja. So we all are Senua, and we are.
They call themselves ninjas. Oh, that's so
That's
cute.
pretty great.
I
That's
love
a
that.
good-
Oh, that's great.
I'm so proud of the love, care, and passion our team here at Ninja Theory are putting into
They're gonna
Senua's
put in
Saga
props
Hellblade
for
2.
the
Our hope is to not only create a game
I
that is
don't
great
know,
to play,
choreographers,
to
the
craft an
directors of
experience
this
that
like
leaves you
developer
thinking
direct,
and
because the
feeling.
lighting and everything
From
is
our
on
combat
point.
gameplay through to our
I
action set
listen.
pieces,
I
from
think
our cinematic
Microsoft
scenes
has
to
found
our
a good
puzzle
format
solving.
for their
Everything is crafted in
directs.
service
This
to
is a
Senua's
good
journey.
format.
A journey that
There's
we can
no
embark
there's
on
no
on
BS.
May
You know.
21st.
May 21st.
It's very lean.
Well,
May
I'm not
21st.
going to be playing this at release, but before doing afterwards, I will be in Japan. I'm surprised it's out that early.
Yeah.
Oh boy, they're pulling some shit, Wyatt.
Oh, Square Enix.
Oh, yeah, slide them
What?
in there. Slide them in there. This is hilarious.
This is really cute. I like this.
Perfect.
That was great. That was great.
I was wondering if they were going to have a little surprise.
Greetings, Xbox players. My name is Masaru Oyamada. Producer.
Oh my god, look at the little bear on his shirt. Oh, that's adorable.
Look at the plushes behind it.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not an announcement. It's Visions announcement.
大変光栄です。コンソールゲームとしては約17年ぶりとなる聖剣伝説シリーズの完全新作。聖剣伝説シリーズは1991年にファイナルファンタジー外伝として誕生して以降、マナと聖剣をめぐって描かれる愛をテーマに、個性豊かなキャラクターたち、心に響く楽曲の数々、武器の特性を生かして戦うアクション RPG としてこれまでに17作発売され、長らく愛されてきました。
I didn't know there were so many.
I think because most of them haven't come out in the West.
Oh, that has something to do with it.
I don't think Trials came out in the West until the remake happened. I could be wrong about that.
I'm kind of glad we live in an era. One nice thing about modern gaming is that happens less. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, more games are released,
more Japanese low-budget games.
Oh, sure, but not as much as it used to. It's gotten a lot better, which is nice.
We're even starting to get some of the cool like Chinese RPGs, which are always a very fun style because no Western dev has really attempted to do wuxia style games. So it's cool that we're doing them now.
This man's got drip.
Look at that.
God damn.
I am so happy.
He walks into a room and you listen to him.
Game in Mana series to Xbox players. 初期の頃からシリーズ作品に登場しているモンスターたちは私が考案したもの
Man
です。
could be a Yakuza boss in that
中には小学
outfit.
生の頃すでにイメージができていたものもあります。今作では初めはドット絵からスタートしたモンスターたちをどのような形で最新化して聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナに落とし込むか。
They're so cute. I don't want to fight them. They're so cute. Ah!
Gonna break dance on you, Wyatt.
Let him. I don't want to fight him.
これまで自分が携わった作品ではそれらをどうやって当時の技術で表現できるかにこだわって作ってきました。
These are so cute.
Yeah, these are great designs.
I'm just trying to picture that man in his Matrix ass leather jacket making these adorable designs.
I like this magic look too.
Yeah.
海を渡る手助けをしてくれる頼もしい仲間たちがいましたが、今作には広大なフィールド探検に
This looks great.
新たな仲間が登場しました。
Visually.
Oh, I love riding on the giant dog.
ピックルも石井さんが新たに考案してくださっています。
Oh, I want one. I want one so bad.
新たな仲間を考えるにあたっては、今作のマスコットキャラクターになるくらい可愛い動物にしたいという。
Well, my man knows what he's doing. He'll be fine.
Yorkshire Terrier crossed with Pangolin is a great design. I love that.
Oh, look at that fucking thing.
Like, it's so
adorable. Oh my god.
調整を重ねていき、ピックルは誕生しました。
Just love the color palette here too. This looks very fun. And I'm glad to see Square Enix isn't all going the route of like, I love Final Fantasy 16, but that game had a very like modern, realistic medieval look to it. Not to say that any of the designs are bad, that game had fantastic designs, but I'm glad to see that they're also still doing stylized stuff.
They're not going all in on it, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Final Fantasy will be the thing that is the showcase
That's fine.
Of the realistic.
Yeah, I mean, it works for Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I'm glad to see Trials is not also going that route. Or not Trials, Mana.
今作ではインタラクティブミュージックを導入しており、冒険の没入感を高めてくれます。
Well, then it looks like they have a little theater they play the game in.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Although, if you're testing your game, playing it in the guise of like a giant theater is not going to be representative of most players' experience.
I'm betting it's so they can get as many people in there as possible if they're showing something, right?
Well, that, and I feel like it would probably have really good acoustics too.
Yeah.
空中でのアクションがバトルの鍵となっており。
Oh, so yeah, they just confirmed you can play as the other characters. That was something I saw people concerned about here, is that one of the concerns I saw is that you would only play as the main character, because normally in these games you can switch between characters. But the description they gave us only specified playing as that character, so everyone was worried.
Oh my god!
That's such a cool enemy design.
Look at that thing!
That thing!
What?
Oh my gosh!
What?
I'm completely distracted from my train of thought because it looks so good.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I had to say something.
No, it's great. It's great. But yeah, it looks like you can still play the whole party, which is very cool.
That's good. That's good.
JRPG fans eating good lately.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm also glad Square is doing new stuff that is wacky and not just remasters or remakes. Because we got a couple of remakes of like older games like Star Ocean and
Well, they're doing the right thing. Is that they're doing both. They're releasing remasters and stuff to get people into a series, and then they release a new title. That's the way to do it. You do a remaster to gauge interest,
See, they
get
did the
people
reverse
involved.
on Star Ocean, and that backfired. Even though that new game is pretty good, man, that game has a weird art style. That's doll people. Still a very good game, but looks wacky.
Do you think we're gonna get another cute little surprise?
I wonder, because they didn't specify how long the showcase is. We know it's less than an hour. Just because they have to fit in the Xbox or the ESO thing at 1.
Oh my god, that's right.
And we started a little late, so it'll probably go
Hello,
slightly past that,
and
but
welcome
still.
to Oxide Games. We founded the studio in 2013 with our decades of personal experience building some of the most beloved strategy games of all time, like Civilization V. We came together to create something new and innovative in a genre we all love.
Yeah, this is a game that I'm really
Our History
interested
Untold is the game we've dreamt of making.
Oh, I think I saw a trailer for this.
Yeah, this was in an
I
Xbox
watched it.
showcase a while back.
It features all the depth.
I feel bad that I forgot.
Radio silent for a while.
You'll explore the world.
Well, we haven't seen a trailer in over a year, I think.
Well,
So.
that's just the story of every
It isn't just more of the same.
Xbox Direct thing. It was announced, and then it went radio silent.
Push it forward in a modern, empowering, and truly compelling and approachable way.
For example, we have over 100 instruments on display in
What's
the
up?
office.
Got a giant flute?
Which are all things that we
Yeah, nothing to
purchased
see
in order
here.
To add to the soundtrack and expand the game and make it really good. Hi, Dan. That's Dan. We started in his basement. It's been
That's a
an
good
amazing
bit.
process to see from concept to
That's cute.
completion. We started
That's
small,
cute.
building a robust game engine, questioning our design assumptions, and prototyping out features, rediscovering what made us fall in love with strategy games in the first place.
The end result is Ara, the historical grand strategy game that presents a living world where you can rule how you want to rule and chart your own path to becoming the most prestigious nation on the planet.
I like that this is
For
not
Ara,
hex-based
we knew we
either.
needed
It's
deep
more
systems
like
with
wacky
outcomes
shapes.
that encourage exploration,
Looks a
and
lot
give
more
players
natural.
the power to experiment and make meaningful strategic choices while still having agency over their playstyle.
We also wanted to explore more in different parts of history and give players from around the world the chance to see the game reflect their unique perspective and not just ours.
And finally, we knew that for players to feel the impact of their decisions, they would need to see their choices reflected in the game world itself, not just through numbers on a menu. One of the first differences you'll see when you dive into Ara is what we call the living world. It's a procedurally generated alternate Earth, bursting with life, an intuitive, authentic, and immersive space, a blank canvas for players to paint the society of their dreams.
The living world isn't just a map. It reflects the choices players make over the course of the game. They can see everything from the settling of the wilderness to cultural influence on architecture over time to
A
the
lot of
thousands
detail.
citizens living
Wow.
their lives and reacting to the changes. We want players to feel like they're truly occupying the world, leading their people as they thrive and grow. Core to the vision of Ara is our philosophy of rule how you want to rule. And no feature better exemplifies this than the prestige system.
To win a game of Ara, players will compete with their rivals to build the most influential, impressive, and important nation the world has ever known. This is measured by prestige, the player's score that proves their worth as a leader.
The prestige system gives players the chance to decide what kind of leader they want to be.
Do they want to pursue great works of arts and culture? Military might.
I love the
Scientific
look of
advancement.
military
The
stuff.
choice is
Excuse me?
theirs.
Excuse me?
What?
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Players get to decide what is most
You can't just
important
throw
to
up
them
concept art of
and
mecha.
focus and prioritize on those goals while still being able
No,
to
Ryan, it's lore.
Personally,
Mechs are outlawed. They're banned.
Yeah, they're banned. No mechs.
incredible monuments and architectural achievements from throughout human
It's an
history.
Xbox wide ban. No, no mechs. It
If you
wasn't
wanna,
just Starfield.
if you, that's what you do if you want to piss Alex off for some reason.
They showed concept art of mechs, and now my expectations have been raised. This game has to have mechs in it, or else I'm gonna feel cheated.
Challenge to the player that they generally won't see often in the 4X genre, succeeding at balancing, gathering the
They
right
think we
things,
wouldn't notice? I don't understand.
I think they were trying to say that you could spec into mechs later on, but the fact that it was concept art and not actual 3D models has me worried that it's not real.
It's just like, oh, they'll never notice. We'll just slide mechs in there and no one will ever notice. That's so funny.
Those are the foundation for everything.
And those weren't just like big stompy Eastern or Western style like mech warrior mechs. No, those were full on mecha. They had glowy laser wings.
It rewards players who can see the strategic outcome of all their collective decisions and not just the individual ones.
I'm proud of the work that's gone into our simultaneous turn system. Many strategy games have players alternate taking turns and reacting to their opponent's moves. In Aura, all players' actions are resolved at the same time. This
cool.
rewards players
What?
to navigate uncertainty, to predict and strategically plan for a variety of scenarios in the moment.
I like that.
This system makes
That's
Aura just feel more
wacky.
Probably make it feel more
In a
like a
typical
Crusader
strategy game,
Kings style
once your
thing.
turn is
than-
finished, you have to
Oh, is that a Crusader Kings thing?
Crusader Kings is real time, so AI moves at the same pace you do, which means you do kind of have to like predict what they're gonna do.
Where you're not doing
Okay.
anything.
It's not easy sifting through all of history and picking what to include. For Aura, we wanted to offer a fresh perspective, so we looked at cultures and societies throughout the millennia with the broadest lens possible.
Where this approach really shines is in our leaders. Leaders are so often seen as military personnel or prominent government figures, but leaders come in so many different forms. They're thought leaders, scientific and cultural prodigies, and many more.
Each leader in Aura has a number of special abilities determined by their personality traits, as well as a powerful and unique leader trait informed by their contributions to world history.
With a diverse global roster, we know players will find leaders that they will want to play. And even a few that may surprise them with how fun it is when those leaders are handed the reins of power.
For us at Oxide, player feedback is the only way to really understand what you're making.
Is that a physical
Okay.
prototype I just saw?
Was that a hammock under a desk? That's incredible.
What the fuck?
That's incredible.
Under a was that a standing desk too?
Player feedback. In the end, we believe this makes for a deeper connection between the players and the game.
One of my favorite
That was kind of interesting. You don't normally see physical prototypes in like developer directs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm wondering if
That
that
was
was a
kinda-
physical prototype or if they were playing a board game. Because the art was
I
super good,
couldn't-
which makes me think it might have
I
just been a
couldn't-
real board game. I don't know.
I couldn't tell though.
Someone get these feline.
Oh my god, what?
I'm happy to report, based on more recent feedback, that I think we ended up in a good place with the overall threat level of mountain lions to a player's citizenry.
Great. Love that.
That felt like an inside joke.
And we're so excited that we can finally see the
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're just driving little scooters around your office. Okay. Okay, cool.
But the launch of Aura is only the beginning. We are going to maintain our insider program after the release date and continue to listen to players and support the game into the future.
On behalf of everyone at Oxide Games, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah,
We
I'm
can't
super
wait
curious
for
about
you
this
to play
game.
Aura and to create your own history.
It looks interesting.
Yeah, fall. It's about expected. Oh, PC only too. This is not on console. Did not
Yeah, it'll
expect
probably
that.
come later. It'll probably come later. Like
I
what
guess,
they did
I
with
guess it's
the
not surprising
Age of
because
Empires.
this genre typically launches PC first. But
All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, I'm saying online only looter shooter, right?
Oh no, Wyatt, don't put that in. You can't put those cursed words in front of this game.
Och välkommen till Uppsala, Sverige, här hos Machine Games. We are
Hell yeah.
really
I
excited
love
to
Machine
finally
Games.
share our work on Indiana Jones.
Since the first film came out, Indiana Jones has always represented the ultimate adventure. Even today, it's one of the most iconic franchises in pop culture. In this game, you are an...
Yep, they cut it off at the third one.
Yeah, not gonna keep going past there.
You will see vivid sides
You know what era they're taking inspiration from.
Lives up to the proud legacy of Indiana Jones. When Todd Howard first told us about his vision for the game, we knew we would be a very good fit to help bring it to life.
I've wanted to make an Indiana Jones game forever. I'd had this
What are you doing here?
for what it would be like.
Hey
the
Todd,
story,
how's it going?
What Indy was going after. What
How you
period
feeling,
of
buddy?
It was in, what kind of arc he was going to have. And as the years went on, I thought, who would be like the best studio in the world to make this? And it was my friends at Machine Games. I can remember pitching Lucasfilm on the game and being, a little bit nervous because, look,
So you
it's,
saw
Indiana
Wolfenstein,
Jones, and their
New
response
Order,
was
and
just
New
overwhelmingly
Colossus and
positive
thought,
and just
yeah,
excitement
Indiana
spread
Jones.
through the whole project, and they have just been
Yeah,
so trusting and
obviously.
supportive of everything that we want to do with the game. It's been a long time. I've been a fan of this my whole life, and I couldn't be more excited to show you what the team here has been up to. Let's take our first look at the new Indiana Jones game.
All right, let me see what it looks like, Todd, before you put ideas in my brain.
Let me tell you what you are missing, Dr. Jones. While you were playing your pointless game, I was playing you. You're wondering if maybe you should have built yourself a life of meaning instead of ending up here, dead and forgotten in the sense of
These character models look good.
Yeah. That looked pretty good.
I just have to wonder if this is gonna be Doom. Like, are we gonna be running around?
Oh, first person.
Just different ways to interpret the past.
Definitely not Harrison Ford.
Thousands of years of humanity's thoughts and beliefs.
Probably a good thing.
Scattered in
But not a bad impression. That's pretty good as far as impressions go.
Especially if younger Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
You can't just run away from your problems, India.
It's, what's his face? I forget that guy's name.
Watch me.
Oh yeah, stealth action.
Oh.
Throughout history,
Terrifying.
It's
the worst thing they've shown.
If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe, you get a perfectly aligned circle.
There it is.
I've had run-ins with these guys before. Trust me.
Lined up punch to the music was so funny.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can keep up.
What do you mean if I could keep up?
Yeah, that character model actually looks pretty good.
Yeah,
They
this
did a
looks
pretty good job.
solid. My biggest concern is that this ends up playing like Wolfenstein, but with a Indiana Jones skin.
I'm not getting that
But
vibe
I don't
yet.
get that vibe yet, so I think we might be good. And even then, that would be a fun game.
The Great Circle.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the first
Great.
Uncharted, where it's ostensibly an exploration adventure game, except you're killing thousands of people immediately.
I mean, they're pretty violent movies, those first three.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
So people can really get messed up.
And he
How
means so much to so many people.
far they're gonna take it.
Everyone here at the studio has their own indie stories and memories. Most of us grew up with his adventures and have been fans of the movies and the character for years.
I just love the
He's a
idea of
brilliant
6 people sitting around a table and going, "This is what Indiana Jones means to me."
He's passionate and determined.
While they're like 4 or 5 years in development already. Yeah, this is what it means to me. We know. We know.
You've heard the story 12 times.
To a multi-gaming audience.
Our game is all about putting you in Indy's shoes, letting you see and feel what he sees and feels. For us at Machine Games, we do that best through first person. It's the ideal perspective to bring you into the rich, exciting, and interactive world we've built.
Yeah, I don't think I need to be sold on the first person. I get it. I get why.
That's fine. That's fine. We all know what Indiana Jones looks like. They're not going to have alternate costumes for Indiana Jones.
It's also for sure if they had it in third person, the comparisons to Uncharted would be constant.
Oh, 100%.
All those moments are much more intense in first person. But we still want you to have those moments. Seeing his iconic
So she's got a
silhouette
power
with
suit
the
on.
hat,
That is a powerful
whip,
look.
and
Oh,
simple
yeah.
things like cutscenes and environmental traversal, we pull the camera back for a third-person view.
Oh, okay.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is set between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade.
When our game begins, Indiana is working at
okay.
Marshall College.
Okay.
He wakes up in the middle of the night to the sounds of a break-in and rushes to confront the thief
I like
in
that
the
they're kind of
college
fitting
museum.
it into the existing
The
indie
mysterious
canon.
giant of a man
Yeah.
goes off with what seems to be a historically insignificant artifact, sparking Indiana's curiosity.
Who the hell are you?
Reminds me of how the
Trail,
old Star Wars
Indiana
games are
heads to the
handled.
Vatican,
They're just
hoping
going to
to
slot
learn
them
why
in
this
spots.
particular relic was stolen, and discovers that things aren't what they appear.
He starts pulling at the strings of a
Although you do
mystery,
run into that
and it
issue of
all
like
unravels until he has no
any
choice to
existing
see it
characters
through
that are
to
there.
the
We know
end,
what they're going to be
whatever
fine.
the end may be.
Yeah, but I feel like we would have known that anyway.
Yeah. It's not a huge issue, but it can deflate things depending on how the story plays out.
We always talk about how clever Indiana Jones is.
Let's talk about power. Those earrings, my guy.
Hell yeah.
Look at those things.
It wouldn't be Indy if he wasn't using his wits to get through the situation. The most authentic Indiana Jones experience we can make is the one that makes you think first.
Sure, there will be some obstacles that will be more easily overcome with the revolver or a gun taken from a disarmed guard. But I think most of the time you'll have more fun, and to be honest, a more genuine indie experience by finding more clever ways to solve a problem.
We always want to be offering more solutions, whether it's trying a different path through the environment to get around enemies, observing enemy patrols and using them to your advantage, or using the tools at your disposal, like the whip.
It's an amazing global adventure with action propelling you through your journey.
This looks fun.
We have these really diverse environments.
Yeah,
to
I'm down.
explore. Indie's
I'm also
journey
glad
will
they're
take you to the
going
forgotten
all out
temples
with
of
this. They're
Sukhothai,
showing us a lot.
the pyramids of Egypt.
This is always, I'm a
Snow
fan of
peaks,
like,
Himalayas,
yeah, sure, announce the game as early as you want, but
We look
show us the
carefully
stuff when
at
you're
each
ready and then give
location
us a
and
big
the time
blast
period
of
the
it.
game is set in,
Yeah.
and we're trying to make it as authentic and accurate as possible.
We love creating rich, vibrant worlds, and in this game, we also had the goal of making it feel like a true cinematic Indiana Jones adventure.
One of the biggest ways to do that is with the music. John Williams is the original composer for the indie films, and we're really lucky to have found Gordy Hub, a composer who's been able to capture Williams' essence with his score for The Great Circle.
Yeah, it's some pretty big shoes to fill. Possibly the biggest shoes to fill ever.
We also take a very movie-like approach to things like cinematics. We're very physical with our production style. We use a lot of stunt actors.
Oh,
Things like
what?
this help us bridge the
That was
gap
nuts.
between making a game and making a movie.
Jesus Christ!
They're really abusing those vocab apps.
They are endangering themselves for their art.
Where Indy
My
is
God.
pursuing answers just for the sake of curiosity, Gina has a personal stake in getting to the bottom of the core mystery.
Gina is an investigative reporter who has a lot riding on this adventure. She's been tracking a lead for some time, and now she's found an ally in this determined American professor. Their paths are intertwined, and they'll need each other in order to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Okay, then. Let's see if you can keep up.
Fight. What do you mean if I can keep up?
We always love our villains and think we might have found our favorite one yet in Emmerich Voss. He's this intensely psychological man. He's obsessed with the human mind and manipulating it.
He's highly intelligent and the perfect foil for Indy. They're both brilliant people.
They show a lot of like
passions and obsessions,
behind the scenes
driven by
footage in these
wild
directs, which is cool.
He creeps
I like
up on
it.
you and gets under your skin like he gets under in the skin. It's captivating.
I think also it works in this format because we know we're signing up for like an hour for a couple of games and not a ton
One of our
them.
mottos for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is adventure first. But in every indie adventure, there are always those moments where he finds himself in the action.
That's been one of those balancing acts for us, and we've ended up with this
I want
sort of
this man's
hybrid
shirt.
experience that mixes melee combat, stealth, and gunplay.
How
It's a
you
cool looking
approach
shirt.
Any given situation is up to you. You may choose to sneak around an enemy patrol, or maybe you'll just pick up a shovel and whack them on the back of their head. And when you can't use your wits, you got Indy's
Did he
most
just hit him in the
iconic
balls with a shovel?
Just like you see in
Did that just
movies,
happen?
One of our
I think
goals has
so.
been to make the whip as fun and multi-purpose.
Greatest game ever made.
We want it
10 out of
integrated
10,
into every
perfect.
aspect of
10
the
out of
game.
10. You can hit Nazis in the balls with a shovel. It doesn't. It's sold. It doesn't get much better than that.
I don't think it gets any better than that.
And yes, you can absolutely use it in combat. Everything you'd expect from Indy's whip, and hopefully a little bit more. Puzzles are a key feature in our game. The spirit of discovery is so important to Indiana Jones. Obviously, there are a handful of puzzles.
Look at us
in the main
flexing
path,
with our
but
pool table
a lot of
behind me.
Puzzles are optional
Oh,
and
yeah.
are just there for the players who want to experience them.
Oh.
Epic traps, small secrets, and hidden puzzles that blend right in with their surroundings.
One
Some
thing
beautiful
I love
concept
about our
art.
game is the level of interactivity that we have. We have this world of mystery where anything could potentially hide a secret. The more you look, the more you'll discover.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I want to thank you all for joining us for our big reveal of Indiana Jones and the
Okay,
Great Circle.
that looked pretty
Machine
good.
Games is known for creating
I'm
these
pretty happy with that.
experiences with huge set pieces, surprising twists, and immersive narratives.
So we've got about
It's
10 minutes left before the
exciting for us
hour
that we have been able to stay
is
so
up.
true to the
That
Indiana
this
Jones
would hit
franchise
the ESO
and
thing. So I'm
create
curious if
such
they're
an
going to stop and
authentic
have a break
experience while still being able to
or do a
showcase
one more
what
thing.
makes us us.
What do you
We
think?
are making a game for
I don't know. I feel like this is hard to
whether you
follow
are
up. I think
very
that
familiar
this
with the franchise
Indiana
or
Jones
not.
game showed really
Because
well.
at the heart of Indiana Jones is an incredible
Because they want to be with this. They want to be thorough. I feel like it would kind of go against these developer directs if they just announced something out of nowhere
very excited to
without like
announce
much
that
information.
Indiana
You know what I
Jones
mean?
And the Great Circle will be coming
release
later
date?
this year, and we cannot wait to share more.
See Todd Howard stealing in the background. Incredible.
That was really cute. That was really
very,
cute.
very cute.
That was great.
I'm glad they're having
Damn
fun.
it, Todd. Because Lord, Lord knows a lot of those people probably aren't right now.
So
trying to
no
get it
window yet, which
finished.
probably means past summer. I would expect. So end of summer.
Probably.
Through fall.
Probably.
All right, are we done? Oh, sizzle.
Sizzle. Oh, okay.
Think we're done.
See, they had an area in the lower right. I was like, you gotta put something down
I was
there.
like, is that? I thought that's where the Square Enix thing was gonna go when they brought it in.
Take one.
Is it animals, children, and game developers?
What? Sorry.
Our
What was
mission
that?
here at Ninja Theory is to
Yeah, these are all
craft
good-looking
life-changing
games.
art with game-changing
Yeah.
tech.
Well, no, I said it before. I think Xbox has a good thing going with these developer directs. It's got its own kind of pace, its own personality.
Yeah. I don't think any of these, aside from
Creating
maybe
an immersive experience like Avowed
Indiana
is anchored in the world we
Jones,
build.
is a system seller. Right? Because I think that's still the thing that Xbox is.
I could see Avowed
needs.
being a system seller.
I
Maybe
don't
not
wanna
based
say
on what we've
needs,
seen, but
Game Pass obviously works very well, and so I'm wondering if
Yeah.
leaning into that idea.
well, it's almost like system sellers just aren't really part of like Xbox's thing anymore. I mean, obviously they want games for their platform, but they're not really like selling Xboxes. You know, they need good games to support the platform, but they don't need to like push consoles at all. You know.
Well, this is fun. I'm excited to see all these games. I think they all looked really good.
Yeah.
And I really don't care too much about the ESO stuff. So I think we're set. But yeah, that was a good showing.
Yeah. Not much to say. It was well paced. It was a good format. Nothing came off as like nothing came off as like a super worrisome or anything.
Yeah, nothing there concerned me. I think Avowed definitely, a lot of the stuff looked like it lacked impact. In terms of I think the melee stuff looked good, but the flintlocks and some of the magic looked a little bit like hitting enemies with a feather, but that doesn't. The bar is on the floor because of Skyrim, right? I don't think.
And also, those are fairly solvable problems with the amount of time they have left.
Yeah, and I also don't think it's a huge issue anyway. Like, I don't think a lot of people play those games for in-depth, good-feeling combat. I think more people would if they had those, but I think people that are interested in a fantasy RPG are going to play it regardless, as long as it hits the bare minimum, which I think it looks well above at this point. So,
I agree.
Yeah, I'm excited for Avowed. I think I'll be spending a lot of time with that when it comes out. And then Indiana Jones, definitely. I think I'm more looking forward to it than I was before after seeing this.
Plus, hey, these are 4 things that are coming out this year. So I'm glad that at least it seems like...
Fingers crossed that they all launch.
Yeah. I'm glad that Xbox is starting to address the content drought because...
It was because a couple of years ago we had heard they wanted to have like a solid Xbox Studio developed title launching every month for Game Pass, which was...
And that did not
I think everyone
work
knew
out.
that was unrealistic at the time, and I think it seems a lot more realistic now that there's so many studios, but at the same time, I don't think that needs to be a goal. Like, setting a hard goal like that makes it very difficult to actually meet that, and then people are disappointed when you don't. So
yeah.
I think just like not necessarily talking about it and doing the, hey, we're just going to make good games and then release them on Game Pass when they're out is probably a better approach.
And hey, like 4 games in 1 year for one, publisher. That's still pretty good. Pretty like high profile, expensive projects in a year. That's
absolutely.
Pretty good. Still.
I mean, we saw 5 games there with Square Enix, and then
although
I don't think that's exclusive. Right. I would be surprised if it was, but I don't think that matters. I mean, I think exclusives are much less important now than they used to be. And yeah, I'm curious. We haven't seen more Fable. That's a blank spot as of now, which I think that game's supposed to come out this year. So I'm curious.
That certainly had some people. Worried.
Yeah, that could easily be a slip into 2025 game, I think. Elden Ring DLC is a big thing that I don't know why that would be related to an Xbox show, but I think that's meant to drop sometime this next couple of months. So I'm wondering if we'll see that at a show sometime soon. And then yeah, that's most of the Xbox stuff that I had on my list of like things I wanted to watch out for. But yeah, it's solid showing. So any final thoughts before we move on?
No, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. I think most people would be happy with that.
Pretty solid. All right, well, that's it for us.
I'm going to go back to lying in bed and coughing my guts out now.
For reference, both of us have bronchitis.
Oh, yeah. We planned it, of course.
Yeah, it was definitely planned.
Yep. Oh. I'm never going out to a movie theater again.